I don't believe that humans, mammals, animals, whatever, are monogamous by nature, and I don't think I should either because I want every pastry at the Whole Foods bakery.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick one. There's a difference.
But I wonder, so you are
It's
okay.
the need of the spirit.
Okay, so there's emotional monogamy, intimate monogamy, physical monogamy, sexual monogamy. So what you're saying, you don't believe in the physical, sexual, but yes, in the emotional, intimate.
Yeah, I'm saying physically, your body is going to crave just naturally. It's going to crave. I mean, just because you declare that you want to be with someone doesn't mean that you're not going to see anyone else as being attractive.
But is that true for men and women?
Is what I say.
Do you believe in monogamy?
Great question.
It is a great question. When I find that person that I consider to be my soulmate.
Do you think that's true?
Yeah, 100%.
When you find that person, how do you feel about that?
Dude.
So the thing is, I mean, to sum up everything that you're saying, monogamy, there's 8 different types of monogamy, right? And I think monogamy, what happens, social monogamy, familial, social, right? The people that can't be without each other.
Yeah.
How do you negotiate that in the relationship? The thing that happens is that we start a relationship and we already assume that we're going to be monogamous and we're going to be exclusive and this is how it's going to go. It's kind of like signing a blank contract. And you're it's like
Exactly.
business, right?
For
Signing
sure.
a blank contract, that's not going to work for anybody.
For sure.
Right? So I think when it comes to monogamy, and I think also I have couples that have been monogamous, but now they want to open up the relationship.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe one person wants to do it, the other person doesn't. Earlier, you and I were talking about swingers. When you do it well, I mean, communication is really the solid foundation to negotiate these things because the only consistent thing in life is change.
Exactly.
So your expectations at the
that.
beginning of the
gonna
relationship
change,
are
for
going to
sure.
change.
For sure.
So we can't be fixated on this thing. And I think what you said is so powerful. Fears. Your first friend that you talked about, fear. That was a fear-based
We
relationship.
had a fear of saying, I can't live without her, I can't go on without her. But the truth of the matter is, there was a him before there was her and him.
Absolutely.
You are born alone, you're dying alone. That's it, baby.
Right. So if he can get back to
Just him. Yeah.
who he was, correct.
And now they're done, so he's back, but it was a
I'll
long
give you my business
process.
card. You can come.
As a matter of fact, 50% of relationships, more than 50%, and I got a lot of unhappy friends. I have a lot of clients I'm going to send you.
Call me.
We're going to take your business. We're
We're gonna take it to the next level, right there. There's magic happening right here.
Business for years to come, right? But back to answering your question, right?
Well, hold on one second. So
I
she's not
feel-
done with the 8 ways to be monogamous. Can we
yeah.
finish that, please? This is your show, but 1 second.
Let me just state this. And this is all happening organically.
Organically, 100%.
When you're dating, you're always on your best behavior. The first 6 months.
Depends.
So this is what I'm trying to get past. Take that off the table. That's why I broke up with dating.
Yeah.
I want to take that off the table. I understand the first time I meet you, you're going to be on your best behavior, but I want to see the raw you, and I want you to.
Then you change the approach. Then you become crazy in the beginning, and then you filter like that.
Figured out. You guys gonna tell me how that one's possible?
And
How
I
do you get
have
to
these
find out the core?
conversations. Ask these questions. That's how you identify their measurement and morality. Does it align with mine? I don't know.
Vulnerability. I love this word, vulnerability.
Yes.
One of my favorite quotes is from Bob Marley. Being vulnerable is the only way to allow your heart to feel true pleasure.
Oof, powerful.
Right? One of my favorite definitions of intimacy is the perfect balance between vulnerability and safety. Without vulnerability, we have nothing, and we're always on our best behavior, and we're dating, and you don't get to see that.
You don't
part
see
of
that
it.
side.
Yes, yes. So vulnerability, can't talk about it enough. I love it.
I always talk about like being vulnerable is something very powerful because when you give power to somebody else, that gives you the power back. You see, because being vulnerable is really like giving the other person the power to open up. You know what I mean? Without feeling restrictions of themselves, right?
And redefine it for yourself, because when you have people define vulnerability, the first word that comes up is weakness. It is courage.
It is the contrary. It's the
courage.
contrary. Exactly. Wow.
Societal,
Wow.
That's something that society is kind of
Implanted.
implanted, especially in men.
Yeah.
The machismo.
Yeah.
I gotta be macho. You won't see a man opening up. Like, you won't see a locker room of men just like huddled around, conversating and being vulnerable. No, what are they doing? Being macho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe with other men. It's funny because like guys are completely different with women in groups or when they're alone with their women. I know like lions at work and they're like kitty cats, you know, at home with their women. So it's kind of very interesting. You just have to kind of like flow. That's why he still has not answered our question. Do you believe in monogamy?
I don't believe human beings, physical beings, were meant to be monogamous, right? I mean,
There you go. I got it out of you.
However, I do believe in the power of like your spirit, your soul. And I've seen two souls on fire. And even though that feeling of I'm just gonna be with you, you're just gonna be with me is temporary, and that feeling will go away, like once the attraction goes away, I believe that there's another state of being that you enter into when you get to a point where you say, okay, this feeling has been dying off. How can we find ways to rekindle this flame? How do we re-spark this attraction? And life becomes a never-ending journey, because when you think about it, it's like people see a relationship as something you just do, right? It's like there's a funny saying that there was a wife that was very unhappy with her husband. She was unhappy in a relationship, and she's like, I don't know if my husband still loves me. They went to see a therapist, and the therapist said, well, do you love your wife? And he said, well, 20 years ago, we got married. I said, I do, right? Like,
Wow.
I just said it, and then that's it. And so what happens is she felt the loss of attraction. She felt the loss of love, right? And he just let everything just taper out. But when you decide you want to go to the gym, right? It's not something you just say, I do one time, right? I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get fit. I show up for a week or a month or a year. And then you plateau and say, I don't have to work at this. I don't have to push at this, because in life, you're either growing or you're dying. So your health, it's either getting better or it's getting worse as time goes by. Your relationships, they're either going to get better or they're going to get worse. And they don't get better. The flame doesn't stay lit unless you're constantly thinking of creative ways to bring new experiences and reignite that attraction. And with someone that you declare is going to be the person you're going to be with, this is going to be your soulmate. I'm meant to be with you. You're meant to be with me, regardless of feelings that change. Just like I fought to pursue you when I first saw you at the restaurant, at the bar, and I did whatever I had to do to get creative enough to capture your attention, I'm going to find ways to constantly bring those experiences day after day, month after month, year after year, to constantly keep that relationship and that attraction lit. Does that make
So
Yeah.
I think we can revise the question. He foundationally, as mammals, doesn't believe that we're meant to be monogamous. However, personal preference,
Yep.
if you have two people as one union that work at it, and it's not so much of an inconvenience to be married, then it works, right? And you would prefer a monogamous relationship where two people genuinely equally work.
Yeah.
So
As
what
opposed to,
How about the opposite?
I don't believe that humans, mammals, animals, whatever, are monogamous by nature, and I don't think I should either, because I want every pastry at the Whole Foods bakery.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick one. There's a
But
difference.
I wonder, so you are
It's a need of
okay.
the spirit.
Okay, so there's emotional monogamy, intimate monogamy, physical monogamy, sexual monogamy. So what you're saying, you don't believe in the physical, sexual, but yes, in the emotional, intimate.
Yeah, I'm saying physically, your body is going to crave, just naturally. It's going to crave, I mean, just because you declare that you want to be with someone doesn't mean that you're not going to see anyone else as being attractive.
But is that true for
You
men
get what
and
I mean?
women equally?
Absolutely.
But how about the
Absolutely.
opposite? For example, I have
But I say,
created.
don't you find it to be sexy?
I was about to
when
say the
you
opposite.
Know, like, okay, in my relationships, what's cool and the ones that I like take pride in, the ones that happen, is like we could both acknowledge like this. She would, she might be like, oh, that's a good-looking man right there, right? And you not having to feel threatened, like, yeah, that is a good-looking man. And even though she says, wow, he's hot, he's sexy, I would even like to have sex with him, but I'm choosing to kind of like cut these feelings off, because what I want to create with you in this life is more important than me pursuing a feeling for the moment. Don't you guys feel
But do you
that?
believe that you can
You guys
be
don't-
monogamous emotionally and
I'm the
spiritually?
only one? Okay.
No, but I totally agree with you. Actually, I was gonna like reinforce that in a higher note.
Tell me.
Do you believe that you can be monogamous spiritually and at your heart? What did you say? Emotionally and spiritually,
Emotionally, intimately.
but then be open to, sexually be with other people. I have the strongest bonds with men. They are just really, really good humans in my life. They have transformed and changed. And I encourage them to have sex with other
Are you
people.
talking about threesomes or swingers?
No, I'm talking about like, we don't have sex. They can have sex with other people, but we have a relationship that's so intimate, it feels almost like a marriage.
Like a best
Yeah.
to an
Like a
nth
best
degree.
friend.
Yeah.
It's non-sexual for the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also
So
like,
you encourage them to have multiple partners on their own.
Wait, what does Paula think about that? I want to know your answer to that.
Yeah.
well, can I add something else? I'm sorry. So what if like, I can love my partner, but still sleep with other people? Is that possible? I mean,
Yes, so it is possible. And I wonder for you guys here.
How?
So would you be okay, so you're with someone and you're intimately and emotionally and spiritually connected to this person, right? You have all this monogamy going on, but you decide that sexually, and you guys, again, when you open up your relationship, you have to be so mindful. I almost want to say go to a sex therapist to help you navigate that, because now you have to, if you're going to go out of the relationship and have sex with other people, do you share what you experience outside of the relationship? Do you bring that person in? Do we do this when you're traveling, right?
Yeah.
Is it at home? But very important, when people really want to keep
Rules.
the intimate and the emotional and the spirituality intact, you don't exchange numbers with this person.
right.
Right? This is a sexual relationship only.
You shouldn't even know their names.
Exactly. Right? Because when you start texting, now you're telling me how the day's going and I'm eating a croissant.
now it's a
That's completely different.
Now
Yeah.
The
it's
emotional
time.
monogamy part
That's
that you're talking
emotional
about?
monogamy, yeah.
And
Okay.
then intimacy,
Dropping
right? Because
bombs.
That's a very interesting topic.
Intimate, right? Intimate is what makes our relationship different from every other relationship, because you know things about me that I don't tell anyone else.
Yeah.
Now I have started having lunch with Pedro, and Pedro's, telling me, how are you, Paula, and how are you doing? And now I'm telling Pedro more things that I've ever told my partner. So now I'm building intimacy. So we have to be so careful. If that is possible, that you want to share your sexual, physical self with other people, you have to be really mindful how to keep this really safe. The emotional, the intimate, the spiritual.
For
Man,
sure.
We definitely get
Fifth
a
grade
therapist to do it.
I want to ask a fifth grade question. What does the person get out of it?
Stimulation.
Just like oh, it feels good to go get a massage. So I'm just gonna go get a massage and go home. Like
Not to be
I'm
restricted.
gonna go get a
No.
pedicure and go home. Like
Not to be
what do you
restricted.
get out of it if you are going home to this person that the person at home is everything to you?
For example, for me, will be like the
What's the
satisfaction
point?
that is making you happy, that I'm letting you explore, that I'm giving you freedom to explore. For me, that will be the
But the person
satisfaction.
who's exploring,
What
or
if
the
the
person
person
that they
that-
don't share a number with, that they don't ever see an intimacy, conversation, or relationship develop. What do they get from that? Is it power? Is it because I can? Is it to make my mojo feel better because I'm still attractive to other people? Like, what do they get from it if
Or is
there's
it that just
nothing
temporary
emotionally
sex
charged?
That's a
behind it?
personal response, because whatever you're searching in your own journey, that's gonna be the response that you're working on right now. And it could change also, you know what I
Let
mean?
me ask you a
So
question.
touch
So
is
you
not your
tell
first
them,
love language.
you tell them, I want you to go have fun.
cool.
Go have sex with whoever you want to go have sex with. What if that person was to tell you, I don't want to be with anyone else. I
Yeah.
just want you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. But can I go?
I love
Just
your
kidding.
honesty. No, you're not just kidding. You're not just kidding, but it's cool. Because this is who you are, and this is exactly what I'm saying. So imagine, right? Can you imagine you have a good time for the moment with someone you met yesterday at Epic Talks, right? And then you guys get it going, and then literally the person has this expectation that's not in line with yours. Their core value is not in line with yours. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to knowing what you want and what you'll have, like ideally, in a relationship. And it doesn't have to be everything, but it's at least knowing what the core.
But
right?
sometimes you have
This
to
is
try
important
things
you.
to know what works for you and what doesn't. Because in paper,
That's the
it
only
might
way you'll
might
know.
be perfect, but then in reality, it's not. You see?
I have
Yeah.
a question for Paula.
Yes. Well, I wanted to answer your first one. So I think novelty and newness, right? Like when that
I
person
go
that
to buy a new pair
that
of shoes and try it on the store. It feels amazing.
but
Let's
the
take it home.
shoes is
Now I don't
not
wear
gonna
them.
give me an orgasm the way a new guy is gonna give me an orgasm, right? I think, and it sounds like you don't agree with. You're like you want full blown
I'm trying to
monogamy.
understand because
You want full blown monogamy, correct? For you, monogamy is number one, numero uno.
I don't want to say this because this is such an out-of-birth mindset, but like this way I've always been.
Yeah, that's okay. Listen, we're
Get past
proud.
that fear and be who you are.
No, yeah. Remember judgment. You're judging yourself. You want
But the-
to
I don't want to get to a point in my relationship where that person's like, I want to start seeing other people or I want to be with other people. That's just my personal preference.
And that's totally fine.
It's totally fine.
Totally fine.
And that goes back to their measurement of morality.
But that's the follow-up question I had, and I didn't want to get into like a moral debate, but
Right.
let's just say, because I think everybody's gone through this, whether it's the college years, where they let their upbringing or whatever go, and they just decided, I'm gonna do what I want, when I want, with whomever I want, but then, what is your take on that girl that does that, and then all of a sudden feels like crap the next day? Oh my God, I'm such a whore.
Or you write about it and you feel great because you're doing research.
Because I think when you said we're letting go of limiting beliefs, expectations, old whatever, if someone was raised not to be that way, and then they're like, F it, I'm gonna be that way, that guilt. Remember, I mean, because
You need to break up with guilt.
I'm obsessed with the show Sex and the City. I love it.
Obsessed.
And
It goes back to their foundations. Right?
Yes, guys.
yeah, but you could see the 4 characters. There's always one that might feel bad about doing something that the other one's like, woohoo, party time, you know?
But they're different.
But then you have to find out why you're feeling bad.
Rules, or whatever you want to call it, foundation that they just decided to go against because everybody else is doing it. Oh, let me see if this shoe fits, or whatever. So what do you call
they
that
think
guilt?
that guilt.
Or that, oh my
because
God, I
they
hate myself because I did something, whatever.
Right, and you have to go back to how it felt. Right, because remember, consent is a constant engagement with yourself. It is emotional, it is physical, it is intimate, it is spiritual. If in that moment you're having a fabulous time, right, that's the overthinking part. Right, where we're like, oh my God, what would my parents say or my family say? But in order for you to be able to give yourself unconditional acceptance and love yourself whole, being a sexually open woman might not be accepted in that part of your life, but growing away from that is literally the meaning of you creating your own sexual voice.
And when you're confident and comfortable with yourself, people respect that. When you have the balls to tell somebody, listen, this is who I am, and you're gonna like take me or live it, people find that so attractive. And trust me, people won't fuck with you if like you are so confident and comfortable in your own skin, and you're aware of who you are. You're not hurting anybody. You're just purely like just being happy.
Well, now you also wonder, like, is it going off from a place of, now I'm gonna do whatever the F I want, right? Now I'm just gonna be me. Like, do we understand the purpose? Like,
Yeah,
what is
the purpose,
intention behind it?
exactly.
Like, am I doing it because, you know what, I'm good. I like to have a lot of sexual partners, I see sex just as a way of connecting, right? Where is it coming from? I think that's also important, right? It's like we go through extremes, finding the middle ground. That's a beautiful thing.
Or when you're married from a really early age. I met my ex-husband when I was in my early 20s. I didn't get to experience dating apps. I didn't experience that much dating. And now it's like, I'm super open because I'm doing research for myself as well, because I didn't get to experience a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, you have to know why you're doing things. What's the purpose? What's the passion behind it? Intention.
I think you have to experience a lot to know what you crave as a human being. Like, what helps you feel fulfilled,
Yeah.
And it's like, early on, college days and all that stuff, I like dating, and I still like dating when it's like, I don't find anyone serious. And it's crazy because you just kind of like lit up a light bulb earlier, because there'd be people that I'm getting to know through business or through whatever, and it's like you get to know them, and then all of a sudden they have these expectations because maybe you're calling, you're talking, you're texting, and it's like, it means nothing. And it's like, this person's all of a sudden upset because you're here. It's like, whoa, what the hell is this? Why are you even mad? It's like, I don't know why I'm feeling mad, but I just got jealous, and I just like, whoa, this is not that type of thing, right? We started off just talking business. I was helping you out. Why are you feeling this way? And it's like, I guess they might have felt like it was some emotional type of bond thing. But the purpose I was making with that was, you have to basically go and experience all sides of the spectrum to kind of like figure out what you even really want. You know what I mean? And then once you figure out what you want, you just basically go down that path until you...
Later on, when I know what I want, I'm going to put my rules in my list of 100 things.
Let's not call it rules. Let's call it the foundation.
The foundation. Then I'm going to find out what I want.
Like, you would be so miserable. Oh my God, Gabby, you would be so miserable if you were with somebody like your ex
Didn't like to travel.
your ex that doesn't like to travel, that won't let you go out, that likes to stay home all day, and you guys are married, and this is how you spend the rest of your life.
But what if the person changed at some point? You see
People
what I'm
will
saying?
change. People will
It's
change.
constant change.
But that's why the relationships are a bridge, right? And so it's like the person has their half of the bridge that's disconnected. You got to figure out, okay, whoa. Now you're kind of like feeling like this. That person has to be open to say, I don't really feel the way that I felt before because of this reason or that. And the other person has to decide, all right, well, how can I adjust? Because it's a team effort.
Team effort.
It's a team effort, you know what I mean? And I just feel like someone's soul will be lit on fire when you find that person that has the same kind of like
Vibration, that same kind of vibe.
vibrations that you have. And even though things change, I think it's that communication, just making sure that bridge is stable. You guys can go through your changes together and you guys can totally make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are people that have done it. I've met people, man, I've met tens of thousands of people over the past 10. I've had
We can take a break. Sorry.
I've had the privilege of coaching thousands of people over the last 10 years. But I've met tens of thousands of people through like seminars or events we've ran or that I've attended to or spoken to. Oh, sorry, you guys good? And I meet people that have been married for such and such time frame, and you still see the vibration, the energy between two souls that are on fire. And is everyone gonna be like that? No, most people are not gonna be like that. But I learned from Tony Robbins and other people when I decided I want to get good at this particular topic of just building relationships, that it just calls for a different level of self. When you decide that you're gonna grow above the physical needs to meet a spiritual need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey guys, welcome to Break Up Like a Boss, your YouTube channel and podcast where you are going to get inspired and create magic. What is your intention, purpose, and passion in your life? What do you have to break up with in order to be the boss of your new one? What is your legacy? We are going to help you find out what is people going to miss you for when you're not longer around. We have a great panel, so stay tuned and check it out.